So now we're going to move on to mining and refining. And this is probably one of the biggest things you'll be doing in the game, because this is the main way you get more resources in order to build new ships, build weapons, build tools, all kinds of things. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. Load it up. So, here we are at a mining station. That is a refinery, which refines resources from the base metal ores into the metals, or whatever it is you're refining. And this is an extractor. This is the main way you get resources in the game. There are other ways to do it with drones and strip miners or purchasing, or stealing, if that's your cup of tea. But this is going to be the main thing for most people. So we've got all these different asteroids to pick from. So we can see here's some water asteroids. These have copper ore. These have iron ore. These have iron ore and carbon, iron ore and copper ore, or all three. But right now we're going to mine some water. Water is used for two main things. You can turn water into oxygen, or turn water into hydrogen fuel, which is the main fuel for most spaceships. You can also turn water into deuterium, but that's more of an advanced resource that you'll learn about later. So we've got here some water. So we're going to take the water and put it into the refinery, and that allows us to make hydrogen fuel. So you can see here the various options. There's deuterium, which you only get 1 deuterium for every 1,000 water, so it's an expensive and advanced resource. But we can have either 1K water, or 1K hydrogen rather, or 1K oxygen. You can't have both. So we're going to pick hydrogen here, and you can see here it's processing it. So far it's processed 500, and it's finishing up now. And when it finishes a full crate, it will eject the crate here, and you can pick it up, and now we have 1,000 hydrogen. So now we're going to mine some iron ore and pick up this water so it's out of the way. So we're going to get all three at once. And it mines it in order of the more valuable materials first. So carbon is the more valuable material, and then copper. So it mines those first for you. And this is useful because you can hit X and stop it from mining that resource, and then allow you to move on. So for example, if you're mining and you see an asteroid with more valuable material, you can always hit that X and it will stop mining, eject that asteroid out, and allow you to pick a different one. We're going to pick this again, and we're going to mine some iron ore. We've got the iron ore. And let's go back over to the refinery. We're going to put the iron ore in, and you can see we've got 1,200 iron ore, so we're going to turn that into 1,200 iron metal. And again, it's processing. And 600 is the max amount of iron that can fit in a single crate. So you'll see it finishes 600 and ejects it as a crate, and then finishes the next 100 iron, it also ejects it as a crate. So what it wants us to do now is store the resources in our vault, which we can do, but before we do that, I want to show you something else that you can do. So if we put this iron in, and put carbon in, now it gives us the option to make steel. And steel is something you also need, and there's various recipes for making different resources. So if you ever need a particular resource, you can always find out what you need to make it by pressing Tab and then going to the encyclopedia, and you can see all the resources that are in the game and how to craft them. So we can search here for steel, and you've got there's steel, and for steel you see you need to put 1 carbon and 2 iron into a refinery, and you get steel. That's a small refinery. This is a large refinery. Small refineries can do everything large refineries can, but large refineries are faster and more efficient at it. Right now we're going to store the hydrogen and iron, and that ends the tutorial. And so we're going to move on to the last tutorial now.